think we're here. All right, so first to 7. So this should be a pretty long match, but it's gonna feel like it's a lot longer because of the speed here. I will note that if some of this looks a bit weird, Doremy is the lobby host, so that might cause a little bit of some strange stuff in looking at Jayden's feed, but it looks mostly all right. It looks like I'm not the only one who had that stream issue, but all right. Curbtra74 to start, right into phase 2 for Jayden. That's gonna take the first round. I mean, Doremy's Ultimatrix is pretty good too. It was the OP solve. Use some IRS to maneuver pieces to allow the OP to spawn in there. Oh, this is some good action with TECWC coming up and playoffs for this tournament. You know it's gonna be heated. All right, Jayden with the O-Tuck. And it looks like the speed's going off the rails a little bit here. Jayden going into the zone to try and fix their state of affairs. An 18-line Perfectress, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. We got a spawn solve for a 61 ulti from Doremy. Congratulations. We got the ties coming out. 15 combo. Certainly nothing to scoff at there. It did prevent a large attack from going on Jayden's board. Also gives them a zone meter advantage. They're at max here. Super clean STSD. They're gonna have to abandon it though. All right. I wish we had instant replays down so we could just take a look at that again. Now a less high octane zone from Doremy, but it is gonna push the game into phase 3 in a basically neutral state. Up until just now, no players had garbage on the board. Jayden dealing with a bit of cheese and these misdrops. Doremy might be able to call curtains here. And yeah, there we go. Doremy tying it up 1-1. Classic 6-3 stack to start on Jayden's side. Doremy's been keeping it quite low to the board rather than letting too much up stack come in. Probably a good idea in the position that they're in where they are being outsped by Jayden. Alright, we have a full zone coming in. We're 1956. Doremy almost ready for a zone response of their own. Trying to grab the 20 there, but it was only a 19 and 40. And Jayden was just trying to pummel another zone attack on there. Look at the APM. 163. We play an IO. What's going on right now? I don't know. I think that's the wrong game. Alright, Jayden bring us back into Combo Town. She was running those 4 wides earlier. I'm curious when we get to phase 3 again if we'll see that, but so far the rounds have been closing early. These misdrops might be getting to them a little bit, but they did fix it within the zone. We should at least see an ulti there. 20 and 52. Doremy could pose the efficiency to close us out. 20 and 58. Jayden taking about 10 lines there. I think from that, not 10, it was like between 5 and 10 lines. They were able to cancel that before it came in, but the stack's in a precarious position right now. Some man-made cheese. that they have to work through, though. They are starting the downstack combo. Gonna zone through this. Jayden rotates so fast in this game, you'd almost think she has 180s on. But we got another 20 and 50 ulti. Mainly Strider zones. Not a lot of efficiency coming through these attacks compared to what we're used to seeing. And look at that 20 and 67. Jayden having to pull through this 4 wide here. And the combo's going to cut. She's going to have to use this quarter zone here into the double O-piece misdrop. She's somehow still alive. And Doremy's building their own center ties. And yeah, Doremy's just going to catch up there. The misdrops just gave them so much room to allow that, that comeback to happen. I mean, yeah, we're just Tyson all over the place today. That's how we do it. And let's see if Jayden can kind of get back on the up and up. Doremy's held the win streak so far. Here's the simultaneous zone. Yeah, 20 and 60 ultimators, so the efficiency's improving for Jayden. Doremy's gonna take a little bit of garbage there. So yeah, we're in a relatively even state, I'd say, right now. I'd even favor Jayden's board state just because Doremy's accepting a lot of garbage. But we do have Doremy kind of maintaining their input there. And now we're in phase 3, and wow, the pendulum shifted. Doremy with some pretty bad misdrops right now. Misdrops have really been the deciding factor of these games, if not for crazy phase 3 pressure. And now we're in phase 3 with misdrops happening, so we'll see what ends up being the crux for these players. Gonna crank out a 19 and 49 phase 3, so pretty strong for this phase. But Doremy able to reflect the attack, not necessarily push any more pressure with that Dodecatrix. Now we have simultaneous zones going on. They both pop quarters. And Jayden popping 20 attack through that. And Jayden's phase 3 pressure is just immaculate. It's really tripping Doremy up here. The speed is really key if they can make it to this point without making any crucial mistakes, and they will regain their lead. It got tied up playing 152.6 drops per minute for 2 minutes. That's really the secret of Jayden's sauce. Now back to a new round, 6th round of the game. Jayden opting to use the back zone first. It looks like there's a bit of combo or skim in this zone compared to the usual, but getting the huge curb bonus for a 69 curb. Doremy following up with a 61 ulti. They are going to take garbage from Jayden's out of zone pressure, but the in zone pressure relatively similar. Jayden's zone strat seems to be banking on these high speed curves, noticing that those are very successful for them versus a lot of their skim zones. If their ultis are less, they remain relatively weak. So that's something interesting that we're seeing now. Let's see how this full zone for Jayden goes. I'm hearing a few more T-spins in here than usual, but it's still going to be around the 50 range. The problem is it pushes into phase 3, and Doremy was not ready for another zone attack. They had this combo here, though, trying to drive up the zone. They only had a quarter, though, so, I mean, it's really just going to depend how far they can take this. They're stalling for now, and they have the combo to do so. But how much longer can they make this last? Trying to upstack here to grab a Tetris. I don't know if they're going to be able to grab it. They're taking this one line here. And they're comboing a bit. They haven't been getting to these zone spikes. Luckily, the garbage is pretty forgiving for them to try and stall and survive. If you see, it's all in small chunks. But I'm just not sure how long they can do this. Jayden establishing this score gap that's over 30k. But I mean, to Doremy's credit, he is surviving. It would take a large buck up from Jayden to change how things are going now. But again, I have to give Doremy credit for that stall effort. That was pretty mind-boggling to me. It was like 40 seconds, almost a minute of just being with over 20 garbage in the queue. This is kind of the tournament experience. Pressure can change a lot of things. The feel of the game on top of raw skill. Amazing ulti soul from Doremy there. Let's see what Jayden can pull out. Just gonna take that Deca Hexatris, but it's a relatively strong Deca Hexatris. 54 attack and 17 lines. Normally you're able to scrape by a bit more, but I mean, we can't say it was a bad place to stop. The overwhelming pressure from that zone did trip Doremy up. We're now close to match point. 5-2 lead for Jayden. This is substantial here. To increase the score gap for Doremy, or decrease it rather, you'd want to see some momentum now, because once it gets to match point, it's unlikely that we'll see any more moves in the momentum of the game. And Jayden might have warmed up and been accustomed, but earlier Doremy was taking some pretty decisive wins. But it seems like Jayden has gotten the strength they need to consistently hold the 150 DPM to kind of outspeed our opponent here. Right, Jayden had room to try and curve it, but they ended up ultimately going with the ulti. See what I'm doing there. Doremy trying to find a solve here. And they grabbed the 21 line curve, 76 attack, but Jayden neutralizes almost all that garbage. And if you guys want to support these players, check out the prize pool in the chat there, because goddamn, the action is getting heavy. Into phase 3 here, about a minute and 10 seconds in. So phase 3 zone's coming through Doremy, but Jayden's just not going to be affected by it. The speed gap is so great here. And now Jayden in the zone with a quarter. Not gonna be too effective. All right, Jayden is zoning to build the combo. Is going to continue it outside of the zone. The combos are more effective outside the zone. They lose combo and misdrop. This is a point where I could see the game flipping in Doremy's advantage. This is what Doremy's looking for, these opportunities, putting Jayden on an immense back foot, but she is finding a down stack here. Doremy, however, has a full zone to go through, and with a clean board, the attack here is going to be immense. We got a 19 line 60 attack, absolutely deadly in phase 3, but Jayden has this Ren here. And built up a half zone to try and get out of this. We're getting near those larger zone chunks of garbage, so she might be able to crawl out. And look at that, folks. Still over a half a board of cheese. But she's going to attempt to locate some of these combos. Got another huge zone attack from Doremy. Jayden's trying to fight back though. Some of these pieces are awkward. Force them to cover up some garbage. We have another quarter coming through. And yeah, I was just about to comment that the chances fell too far away from Jayden there. And as you can see, their speed gap is just not, it's no longer there. Doremy was able to keep it up. Going through another phase 1. Jayden tanking some resources here. Oh, look at the IRS for the Ultimatrix from Jayden. That was pretty sweet. IRS need to keep the Ultimatrix up. Or to keep the eyepiece up for the Ultimatrix and moving it around. Those ones are always super interesting to see to me. Doremy getting a bit overzealous with these T-spin setups. Still able to pull a 54 out of that, and we are in phase 3 here. Jayden has no zone. That's just a common thing I'm noticing here. Near the end in these rounds where Doremy's more dominant, the zone attacks just show through, and Jayden's left on the back foot with virtually no zone. But her combos are so good, it mitigates a lot of these effects. There we go. I mean, this is a common theme in these rounds where Doremy, as I was just saying, is up. Consistently high pressure throughout the later phases. But let's see how it goes. Let's see if Jayden is feeling a fire light under them, because Doremy's about to tie this score up. In these rounds, especially in TEC, we're in the back half of the TEC bracket here. Every single match counts for the seeding in the playoff bracket. And some players will be starting in losers. We'll be giving more info about that in the coming weeks, probably on the final week of TEC and PPT. We'll make this graphic that will kind of show how these brackets are supposed to look. you go. Jayden with these super fast zones. A little bit messy on the stack side, though. Doremy is a 3/4 meter into phase 3. The effects of this were going to be very large if Doremy were able to make it out. If Doremy made it out and continued the down stack, that could have changed the pace of the game. And look at that 163 DPM. Holy cow. It is crazy to even say that number, knowing how close it is to 3 pieces a second. Like, Jayden's just kind of playing Tetrio in this game, as crazy as that is to say. And allegedly, Akashi Robo might have broken that record. Or, Siake Gohan. That's how you say their name? I've never even said that pseudonym out loud. I've always called them Akashi Robo. Let's bow down to that 65 attack ulti, though. Push up some garbage on Jayden's board here. She's trying to work through it. But this is giving Doremy, again, another clean slate to work through, build up their zone meter for the phase 3 transition. This is how they've been winning rounds. They're currently on path to have a pretty good showing in phase 3. It all depends on what Jayden's zone here looks like. And Doremy deciding to zone before any of that garbage comes through. We have a combo in the zone. I haven't seen Doremy do a lot of these man-made combos. And yeah, neutral with this 4 wide, no obstacles from Jayden. Easy to say that, you know, with how that zone went, she's currently in a favorable position. Oh, mid-game PC from the ties! Ah, fuck this shit, dude. I fucking love this game. Crazier that it did nothing to it, just looked cool. Alright, and here we go. We got another ties. Doremy has to play on defense for this. 3/4 zone with that entire combo in it from Jayden. 18 and 43. That could be big. Doremy responding with the ties of their own. It's not going to combo. This residue, it's bad. It might be for Jayden, but I mean, let's see. Doremy has survived against all odds before, but I don't think the stack is here for it this time. 7-4 will be your final score in Jayden's advantage for this match. GG's to Doremy, who's been playing pretty damn fast in their own right, but the 150 DPM, I'm not sure if it's something that we can expect anyone to beat.